Hi, it's Pastor Paul L. Anderson here at the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship, where we believe God's blessings never stop flowing. Oh, it's Terrific Tuesday. It's a day in which we begin to ask God, what is that in your word that you want me to know about today? Well, I invite you today to look with me at Revelations, the 21st chapter, verses 22 through the 22nd chapter, verse 5. It says something so powerful. John, who's the revelator, he says, I saw no temple in the city, for the Lord God Almighty and the Lamb are its temple. He begins to remind us it is so important as he looks at the book of Revelation. It's not about a building. It's not about God being in a building, but God is the purpose that the building exists. You know, sometimes you and I, we put an inordinate amount of time in buildings and other things like that. We need to know that buildings are the places that the church meets. The church is not the building. The church are the people, those who are the called out assembly of God. We just worship in a facility so we can call it the meeting house. You know, early we find out in church history that people would go from house to house. The church met at ABC's house. The church met at this house. But then later on, they started building buildings, and the buildings started being known as the place where the church meets. And then some people started calling the building the church. We must understand that the building is not the place where God is. The building is the place where we go and meet, and God is in the people. Well, today you and I need to look at this text. This text tells us that when we get to that new city, Jerusalem, when we get to the place called heaven, God himself will be all the light that we would need. God himself is the one that we worship. Oh, we'll find out how great and how glorious it would be. John, while he was on the Isle of Patmos, he saw these great and marvelous things. He reminded us that nothing evil will be allowed in it. There will be no idolatry. There'll be no dishonesty. Well, John the Revelator begins to think about all the things he's experienced in this life. And he says none of that will take place in heaven, because heaven is a perfect place that is desired for us to go. And today, I hope you and I will leave all of those things behind, because we'll know that God has a perfect and a better place for us. Notice John the Revelator says there'll be no more medicine. There'll be no need for doctors. There'll be no need for hospitals, because there will be no sickness, no sorrow. There will only be joy, and all of us will see the face of God, and we will see him as he is. And then we can celebrate where the light is shining on us. Today, I hope you will let the light of the gospel shine on you, so you can tell everybody that the joy of the Lord is my strength. As John the Revelator saw what heaven was looking like, he said, Lord, I'm ready to go. Today, I hope you and I will be ready to go when God calls us, so we can be in the presence of God to experience the light like never before. May God bless you. May heaven smile upon you. Always know that you're exceedingly and abundantly blessed, and I look forward to sharing with you again on tomorrow.
To sow a seed to the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship, visit our newly redesigned website, thefountainofraleigh.org, and select Sow a Seed from the homepage. Also, giving has been made easier with the new Fountain of Raleigh app, available now in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Download today, select Giving from the main menu, and then follow the directions to complete your giving through Subsplash.
Thank you so very much for all of your gifts and donations that you've given to the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship. We thank you for what you've done in the past, what you're currently doing, and what you will do in the future. Your gifts and donations helps us to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ, not only locally, but throughout the world. Thank you again for your gifts, and may God continue to richly bless you. It is here at the Fountain that we believe that we are exceedingly and abundantly blessed, and may you receive those blessings that God has in store for you.